Now, so I read the book of Judith yesterday. So it tells the story of how King Nebuchadnezzar probably first entered Israel. Oh no. Now Jeremiah also is involved with this, but this is with the Upper Kingdom, right? The town he's going to invade is called Bethula or something like that. Anyway. Well, he's trying to, um, go against anyone he thinks is against him in the first place, and is being a little tyrannical there. Anyone who won't follow him or obey his commandments, right? He's trying to put under his feet, including, right, the upper portions of Israel. Now, they call him the king of Assyria. And there's this other king called Zaxad, right, who's also involved with it, and he's the king of the Medians or something like that, right? And so he's going around fighting people. And it's not until almost chapter 7 that Judith even comes into it. It tells how he assembles his armies and all this with a guy named Hola Finez or something, right? Who's the captain of his army, right? Well, this is similar to the story of Deborah and Huldah in the Bible, which is also around the time of Jeremiah. And Jael, who also killed that captain of the host of the Syrian army, right? By the way, it's kind of similar to that story. So it kind of seems Jewish in origin in the way it unfolds. Well, anyway, Judith is a widow, and her husband Manasseh had died, right, suddenly, while in the field in the heat of the day. He basically died of what we call today a heat stroke. That's a real thing, by the way. I don't know if the whole story is real, but people dying in the heat of the day from heat stroke is not an impossible thing to die from either, right? Believe it or not, right? So anyway, goes on. She's in mourning, right? And the armies are assembling with about, I say, around 150,000 people. And they're trying to get into, I don't know, Bethula to conquer it and kill everybody, right? And make them submit to Nebuchadnezzar, right? Forcibly. And they're upset that they're only worship the Lord their God, right? The creator of heaven and earth, right? So they're not too happy with Israel right now in the way they worship their God either, right? And that they won't give allegiance to Nebuchadnezzar, right? That's the problem, right? So anyway, the men of the city are trying to figure out what to do, and they kind of dam the water supply. In other words, there's a water supply to Bethula, and they're trying to dam it, right? And they dam the water supply so they don't get no water, and they start trying to thirst them out first, right? Now, it's kind of odd because usually it's more food you try to keep from getting into another, city or town, right. But they had a water supply and a spring coming out of the mountains, and they tried to dam the spring so they couldn't get no water, right. So the men of the city, the elders, they're trying to figure out what to do, and they want the townspeople to give them like 5 days. And Judith is in mourning over her husband and all this, right? So she is in her husband's house, right? And she's up on the roof in mourning in sackcloth and ashes, right? And stuff like that, right? And that's been a couple years since he died as well. And so she's up there just trying to get situated and all depressed, right? And then all of a sudden they're all in this situation, and Judith comes down there with a plan. Right. Well, she's going to go into the camp and act like she don't want to be part of the the men of the city, right, and get close to the leader and try and take him out, basically. So she does that. They let her in, right, trusting her, right. But when she gets close to the captain, he gets all drunk one night. She cuts off his head and brings it back to the men of the first city. Damn. Right. And then the next thing you know, right. They gather all the men together of Israel and they cast them all out, right? And when they found out the captain's dead, they don't have their leader no more, right? You know, the famous adage, cut off the head of the serpent and the serpent is dead. Unless it's a hydra. Like with Hercules, but that's a different tale. You have to burn the head of a hydra to stop it from... I know, by the way, that's a different myth, but... But we're talking about a regular snake's head that will die if you cut it off, right? If you cut off the head of the leader, though, the rates will fall. Right. That's kind of what she did there. She got all dolled up and was looking all pretty and all that. And anyway, it goes on, right? After that, she gets the spoils of war, right? She gets all Holofernes' stuff, and she gives that to the Lord, and then she goes back to Bethula, and they lives out her life to about 105, I guess. I know, right? Which that would include Daniel. I mean, that's got to include Daniel as well, right? At some point, right? But they're in Upper Israel, so we don't know if this is true or not, or, when Nebuchadnezzar is going against Jerusalem, right, she don't really get involved with that part. No, she don't, right? But okay, that's the story, though, in a nutshell. And it seems like it's kind of took him from a little bit of Holden, a little bit of, I don't know. Because she's acting kind of like a military leader. And Deborah as well. I know. Like, she got a good plan. Right. And, of course, she's a widow, so she's not married anymore. She's a single woman, so she's kind of using her feminine wiles to woo Holofernes, right, into surrendering and into a trap to kill him, right? And it works. She basically cuts off his head with his own sword. Uh-oh. Sound familiar, ladies? Right? Or tried to, right? Hit him over the head with his own stick is just as bad, right? But again, move on. I forgive you, right? You forgive me for tempting you, right? That's all you can do about it, too, right? Because I can look at you through my door because there's souls in my door and see if you're a woman or not, and I can tell. And if you have a penis, I'll stop and make you get dressed anyway. And if you don't, I'll have sex with you if you're a female. I know what a transgender person means and a non-transgender person means, right? And like in Risky Business, when Tom Cruise orders a hooker and it turns out to be a trans hooker, the trans hooker helps him out instead of making you have sex with him anyway. See, the sex don't always have to happen if you give the person a choice. I know. See, the transgender prostitute gave Tom a choice and gave him someone else's number because he knew he wasn't his type, right? See what I mean? Right. If someone's not your type, they're just not your type, right? If you're not into men, you're into women, so that's automatic. Okay. They're letting some dude undress and take off his shirt and killing a mark today, right? I'm just looking at it. It's on mute, but anyway, that's kind of crazy, right? They don't normally do that. I guess he thinks he's got a hot bod or something. I don't know, right? I don't know if he's doing it for the ladies or men either, right? There you go, there you go. But let's move on again, like with the kicker last week, right? You can't do nothing if he blew the last kick, right? Even if he made 4 out of 5 kicks. It's the last one that was the most important, but of course you could miss if you're further out or something. I don't know all the details, but now all you can do is say, we should have had a different kicker. He folded under the pressure, right? And things like that, right? Or he did it on purpose, even, right? But again, it's like with Pet Detective, Ace Ventura, the first one, right? Where the guy became transgendered and all that. It was played by Sean Young, who's a real woman, by the way. Exactly. And she went a little batshit on Tim Burton for putting Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Excuse my French there, but no, right. I heard about that too, right? But like I said, right, that's because of not Eartha Kitt, but what's her name? The second one, the brunette girl with brown eyes, right? Right. Mm-hmm. I forgot her name, but anyway, that's why she wanted to play Catwoman. No, right. I know. Julie Newmar, yeah. Well, that's why she wanted to play Catwoman. She thought the character would be more suited to be a brunette with brown eyes than Michelle Pfeiffer, I guess, right? Who's a blonde with blue eyes, I know. There was no blonde playing Catwoman ever, except for Michelle Pfeiffer, of course, she would got the role. There you go. So it don't matter now, huh? Right? The film is in the can, and that's how it went down, fool. Right? You can't change it, right? Walk like an Egyptian. There we go.